Now, news just coming in. The U.S. State Department has released a report in which it has accused China of global media manipulation. The report says that Beijing has spent billions of dollars annually on information manipulation efforts, including by acquiring stakes in foreign media through public and non-public means, sponsoring online influencers, and securing distribution agreements that promote unlabeled Chinese government content. So, this is a dossier that the United States has released on China's manipulation of media across the world. The dossier also essentially says that Beijing has spent a huge amount of money on information manipulation efforts, including acquiring stakes in foreign media through public and non-public means. Let's go across to Abhishek Kapoor, our senior executive editor, who joins us on the phone line now. Abhishek, good morning. Abhishek, give us more details about this dossier. Essentially, what we understand is that China is once again being accused of manipulating media.
Well, yes, and in not so subtle ways, Nupur. This is a damning report, of course. This is a U.S. State Department. But the details, as they say, are open source and publicly accessed. So this gives credence to the information that has been pieced together under a congressional mandate. Now, for example, it says that China has sponsored 1,000 fellowships for journalists from Africa, and obviously then they become influencers on behalf of the People's Republic of China. One would say it's a transactional relationship. A lot of money has been spent and influence bought. So obviously, this is an admission that influence buying and influence peddling has been institutionalized in China. But so far as India is concerned, Nupur, and that's why this report has to be brought to in the public domain for Indian viewers, is that this influence peddling, influence buying has reached disproportionate levels when it comes to Pakistan, and must be of a level where the State Department report singles out the manner in which a China-Pakistan media corridor has been created. So till now, we were talking about the China-Pakistan economic corridor, and even that was giving a lot of headaches to the rest of the world. And now we are seeing a China-Pakistan media corridor. So essentially what we are seeing is that whatever you see by way of press releases, press notes, it actually mentions that the Pakistanis have been sold on to a level where even their foreign ministry press releases have a China imprint, and that should really shame the Pakistanis. But more concerning is the manner in which, in the organized manner in which the People's Republic of China and the communist state have gone around media shopping, media buying, influencing, and in fact, even more worrisomely, it says that the Chinese state is not adverse to using influence first and money second, and then ultimately threat as well, because you have bought influence, you have spent money, there is an element of blackmail. So essentially threat, blackmail also going into this media manipulation, organized, institutionalized operation of the Chinese Communist state. A damning report, as I said, the caveat is it's a U.S. State Department report, and the United States is locked in a competition and a combat, so to say, for influence with the Chinese state. But the details, insofar as India is concerned, specific to the Pakistan part of it, are concerning, and the viewers should be watching this for more details that we bring out over the next few hours from this report, Nupur.
Now, Abhishek, of course, this is not the first time that China has been accused of manipulating information that essentially is made public. But does the report name any organizations, global organizations, that may have benefited from Chinese funds?
It does, Nupur, and for example, it says that the CCP Central Propaganda Department oversees much of the messaging, and through CCTV, CGTN, and China Media Group, they get into liaison with local media platforms, and many of them are actually named as we are going through this report. For example, in the case of I have to get to the specifics, but what they are saying is there are direct purchase of foreign media outlets and says Australia-based Global CAMG, for example, is named as one organization. Then there is another organization called CRI through which they have circumvented the local media in Thailand, for example. I am not yet able to locate an organization in India named. It's possible that even that is there in this voluminous 60-page report. For example, it says in Africa, the Chinese bought a local platform called Star Times, and hired about 30-odd journalists in that one platform who were influenced by the Chinese narrative or were seen to be peddling the China narrative. 1,700 foreign news organizations and media groups is what the report says, that the Chinese propaganda state, through its platform like CGTN and CCTV, has been able to influence 1,700 media platforms around the world through their footage, through their narrative, through their write-ups. So it's going to be damning as the details come out, Nupur. But as I said, most concerning insofar as India is concerned is the element on Pakistan and the fact that whatever we see coming out of Pakistan by way of its government and private media, to the extent that even its foreign ministry press releases are influenced what Chinese want, Chinese don't want. So that's something. Essentially, essentially Pakistan pawning its sovereignty effectively in terms of whatever it says on global platforms to China. And that's something which should really open the eyes of the world community who think that they can deal independently with Pakistan in any manner.
Right now, Abhishek, also, of course, this report does come essentially at a time when relations between China and the US are at a significant low, and the US has for a while now been accusing China of information management, and also has, that report also talks about the fact how the US essentially fears that global media freedom will be impacted by the kind of meddling that Beijing is doing.
Well, obviously, that analysis would come at some stage that what has been the consequence of the Chinese manipulation of the media narratives. For example, I give you a specific example. When China launches BRI, which is Belt and Road Initiative, which was earlier called the New Silk Route, a showcase Xi Jinping project, Italians, for example, happily joined it way back in 2013-14. Over a period of time, they realized the consequences. And we are hearing now that Italy has announced that they are getting out of BRI and all the projects that came with BRI, because obviously China, when it gives something, even if it gives money, it comes with costs attached. Sri Lanka has realized it to its detriment in terms of BRI projects and the kind of debt the indebtedness it has caused. Similarly, in the case of Maldives, similarly in the case of many other geographies in the Southeast Asia, for example. So as one nation after another realizes that they are getting into a trap by the Chinese, it's likely that this propaganda this narrative manipulation might have played a role, and that's why this report gains even more importance.
All right, Abhishek, thank you for the moment for joining us. We've also got Major General K.K. Sinha joining us on the phone line. Major General Sinha, good morning. Major General Sinha, this new report that's been released by the State Department essentially accuses China of meddling with global news outlets and trying to control the spread of information. Are we at all surprised that it's been happening for a while now? Because we've seen, proof of it.
Jai Hind and good morning. See, this report is, a complete, report which has come. And, otherwise, the world, even, we in the static domain who deals with it and the people who have got a knowledge knows about it, the information warfare with the China has engaged into do it. And it is not that, China has done it now. Basically, it started with the Xi Jinping coming in power in 2012. Before that, China was basically, trying to lie low, hide its capability, and slowly rising. But, the moment the Xi Jinping has come, and it is with a design, See, the influence of Chinese media is, all over, including ours to a, great extent. There is a lobby, and it is a leftist lobby which generally, Chinese have got on the payroll the people who actually drive the agenda of China. The Chinese idea of Marxism, and going toward the Leninism to Marxism was basically China's design, which they initially did it with the people who were very influential in their nature, which would have changed. And that's why China got, some foothold all over the world. And the China's foothold was there that, basically they are for the third world countries, trying to help them out, and they were rolling it. And China found a footprint, especially into the African continent in a very big way because of media influencer. And it's also gone to Europe to a very, very great extent. And also to, when we talk about the Latin American countries, that is the southern part of America underbelly, they have done it with a design and they have achieved in the gate. And I am not surprised to hear that it is a version everyone knows about it. Now it is in writing.
Right, Major Sinha, thank you very much for speaking to us on Republic TV. So, the U.S. State Department, of course, has released a detailed report about China trying to manipulate world media.